Welcome to Cackling in the Void.
I'm Kaylee.
I'm Ashley.
And let's see if the void echoes back today.
Today we're two best friends diving deeper into the void, talking about Stranger Things. Season 4. I really had to think about not saying chapter.
Yes, it is season 4. We're very excited. This was a very large chapter. Ashley did mention earlier that, you're right, large season. Ashley did mention, I believe, last episode that this season might be your favorite season.
I still don't know.
I was like, am I remembering that correctly?
I think so. I said it's up there. I think it...
To be quite honest, I think that this is my favorite season.
I was going to say, I really
I'm going to stand firm on that. I think that out of the 5, this is probably my... Yes, out of the 5, I think that this is my favorite season.
Because I feel like it gets back to the roots of season 1 and season 2. Because season 3 did kind of, take away from that a little bit. It was just a lot brighter. It gets back into the roots of it, but it keeps the elements of season 3, which is really nice. And then, but it's also just so much darker. Like, this is such a darker season. It's a lot more horror-filled, and we are very big horror fans.
Quote.
But
quote. I would say it has more sci-fi elements than other past previous ones. And the reason why we say that is because we see a lot more of the upside down landscape.
Yes, and I also do think it has a couple more, in quotes, horrific scenes just because of how
the bodies and things like that.
Yeah. And so it's fun that this is a fun season. I do think it is my favorite.
All right, okay.
I need to rewatch season 5.
Yes, I would like to rewatch season 5.
You need to rewatch things. Because you pick up on a lot more because you're not taking in so much information. But let's jump right into it. And this is it. Actually, it literally starts off with child murder. So
I mean,
it throws you in. It's like, hey, this season is a lot.
Yeah, but I like it. I like that the first shot of it is literally, Brenner discovering the kids in the lab. Because, that is something that I feel like they have done actually quite well for the series that they have made, is the very subtle foreshadowing that happens in the beginning of the season to kind of tell you, this is going to be a through line. Yeah. For instance, that memory is a huge plot line for Elle. Which I love to see, right off the bat, we're, getting into it.
Yep.
I do like the fact, especially within this season, that they are split into different actual places, not into different groups, but I like that they're split in actually different places. I like that they were actually in separate places and not close enough together to to operate as the original group that they are, because we open up, yes, we see that flashback from Brenner, or from Elle's perspective. We're not quite for sure who had that flashback, but it does seem like it's from Brenner's POV.
Yeah.
So assumably it's from his memory.
Yeah.
But Elle, Will, Jonathan, and Joyce are no longer in Hawkins. We do see that at the end of season 4 that they are selling their house. You don't know where they necessarily go, but
end of season 3.
Yes, end of season 3, but really enjoy that they did move. And it does.
And they moved so far away too.
Yeah, they moved to California. Whoop whoop, shout out there.
Woo.
Hey.
And I do like seeing that, and I have a couple discussion points about
I love it.
Elle in season 1, or this episode.
Yes.
Going into episode 2, but first off, I love her hair that length.
Yes, I do.
It was so cute. But she's going. It's the first. They're all freshmen in high school, and so this is also Elle's first experience in a class as a freshman in high school. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. And especially in a new town, you don't know anybody. And
as well as her. Once again, I have big questions about by the end season about the level of vocabulary and speech that she possesses.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, anyway.
Yep.
I just want to bring up the point that, you know, she is behind greatly.
Yes.
And her speech and sentence and vocabulary level is quite low still.
Mm-hmm. And I love how she made like the diorama of like Hopper, and how she was like, oh yeah, like my dad was the hero.
He's her hero.
I know. And then how she's like, this is the squirrel. I'm like, stop, that's so cute. Like, and you could really tell like she put a lot of like heart and thought into this, and like just so, and how much she misses her dad. Oh my God, makes me, like,
I understand like she misses her dad, but also from a purely academic standpoint,
that was not the assignment.
Yes.
So I get the
also teacher. Well, here's the thing is like the teacher was not going to say anything. No,
so then this girl Angela raises her hand and is like, excuse me? Actually, that's not what the assignment was.
Literally.
And I do love how I was like, well, he was in the newspaper. Like, is he what? Like,
yeah, he was. He was in the newspaper and it was reported.
Yeah. And,
so it's a real event.
It's a real event.
And he is dead, so it's part of history.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a whole 8 months.
Yeah.
And, then she's like walking out, and she starts crying. Understandably so. I mean, that would be, like, first off, you're still grieving your dad.
Yeah, you're still grieving your dad. You're being made fun of in front of an entire classroom. Like, mind you, she's standing up in front of her quote-unquote peers.
Yep.
And this girl is picking on her, and the teacher's, letting it happen, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would also break down in tears. I'm not going to lie about that. I would also be in tears.
Yeah. And so I know that this scene is one that everyone, like, has a lot of trouble with when Angela, like, kicks the box out of her hand and, like, people start stepping on it.
Yeah.
And she's like, Angela, and then, like, tries to do her powers, and it obviously doesn't work. And it's just very, like, oh, darling. That's very embarrassing for her, because now she just, like, yelled and, like, put her hand out and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And, I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble with that scene.
Why?
They say that it's so embarrassing, like, the worst scene in the show. Like, it's so embarrassing. And I'm like, well, that was the point, you guys.
Yeah. I'm confused because I feel like they really made the point. Like,
it's sad and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, but you also see, I did actually kind of like those scenes because it showed so broadly, not necessarily so broadly, but it showed how much she was struggling and how much she is lying to Mike in those letters about how everything's doing fine and she has friends and she's so good at I also like how, like, every single time she's like, oh, I'm so good at something, she's, like, failing at that.
Yeah.
Like, she really is, like, trying to hide that from Mike because she doesn't want him to be embarrassed by her because she's embarrassed,
And I do, it's also like we said, like, she's grieving her dad, she's grieving the loss of her powers too. Like, she lost a lot.
Well, I feel like she's grieving, the loss of her powers, but, like, the loss of identity that came with that, because, in season 1 and 2, we did see Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will, like, we saw the gang around Elle, and they were like, I mean, Mike calls her this, like, your superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we see in season 3, Elle and Max bonding, and she's like, who's Superwoman? And Max looks at her and is like, that's you. You are like Princess Diana. You are like this otherworldly thing. And it's interesting because in later interviews, the Duffer Brothers or somebody kind of mentions that Elle is the personification of their childhood.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
And it's interesting to think about.
It was the Duffer Brothers, I think.
It's interesting to think about that type of theory and, like, that type of, I don't know, outlook, because right here, you know what? I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it like that, because I was like, I feel like everybody was bullied at one point in their life, but then I'm thinking about that and I'm like, actually, that is a false statement.
True. I was like, I was bullied at one point.
I was like, that is a false statement, and I know that that's if you were not bullied, fantastic, but for, kids that were bullied, I feel like we can all think of a very specific moment in time when something very large like that happened, that all of a sudden we built walls. Like, we were like, okay, what are we going to do now to prevent a situation from like that ever happening? Because
that fucking sucks. That was crazy.
Yeah, in terms of trying to control like what's going on around you, but also it's like the preteen hormones, everything like that. Like, it would be embarrassing because she was told that she was special because she was a superhero.
Yeah.
And she's struggling with obviously her self-worth because she equated her powers with her worth. Because
that's what she did her whole life.
Yeah. But it's also like the we actually like have seen this in like codependency studies where women will be in relationships with people that are emotionally and like neglectful. The biggest reference that I could do that I feel like a lot of people like will see and understand this is Marge Simpson and Homer Simpson. How he is completely inept without her, how she's constantly worrying, on edge, and like doing all these things. But Marge isn't going to leave because she feels value in the fact that she can provide solutions for him. And that kind of goes within to the codependency and the savior complex of self-worth. And so like we can kind of see that, and also it's like it makes sense that Elle's struggling with that because literally I feel like she put all of her self-worth in the idea that she was a superhero. Because that's what everybody's been telling her. Like, nobody's like, I know this kind of sounds bad, and I know that they are kids. I know that they are kids. And also, I mean, she brings it up later on in like episode 2, I think. Yeah. When she like confronts Mike and she's like, why don't you tell me that you love me?
Yeah.
Like, I do have big opinions about that too, but like, we're seeing what I feel like when we see the diorama get like stomped, I feel like that's when we see like the realization of what life would be like.
Yeah.
If like, if she wasn't a superhero, or if she doesn't love herself almost. But honestly, I was like, I loved the scene. I thought it was really good.
I do too.
Personally, I think the scene in the second one does better. I mean, honestly, good for her for literally just, I mean, picking up her. She doesn't even pick up the diorama. Will goes and picks up the diorama. I
love the friend, like the brother-sister relationship that Will and Elle get. I do really like that.
I do enjoy that, and it's also like one of those things where it's like you mentioned this last episode, I believe, that you loved that Joyce just took Elle. Yeah. Like, Elle is hers. And honestly, it makes the most sense thinking about Joyce is the only parent that is completely and fully involved and understands the entire situations in Hawkins. Yep. Where, like, if Mike's parents took Elle in, I feel like the story would be so different.
So different. I agree with that. And we see, like, later, people come and, like, okay, so in episode 2, like, she literally, like, bashes Angela's head in with a...
Not gonna lie about it, I was like, the amount of restraint that all she did was, like, put out her hand and, like, scream, like that first scene in the first episode. She just puts her hands out, screams, and then, like, kind of runs away. I'm not gonna lie about it. I think I would have jumped on top of her to try to throttle her at that moment. I don't know if I would have ran away like that, but that's just a personal instinct.
And so she
good. I'm
now
glad.
Mike is there.
I was like, that
Mike
bitch
is there now.
Also, that I'm not gonna lie about it. That bitch fucking deserved it. She deserved getting hit in the fucking face with a goddamn skate. She fucking deserved it.
Yeah, because she, Mike was there and they went to the skating rink because it's fun. And I love how Will the entire time is like, we don't do, like, what is happening? What friends are you on? And they were talking about it.
Because, she told Mike that Angela was one of her best friends.
Mm-hmm. And, so they're there and, like, Will's just kind of there like, what? What is happening?
Not only that, I do think that we need to mention that when Mike gets there, Mike and Will are Will is so excited to see Mike, but we can tell that Mike is not.
I think he's not excited, but he's not.
No, he's not. No, he's not excited. I'm so sorry, but you saw it, that Mike was not excited to see Will.
That's true.
The reason why he came on this trip was not at all to see Will or to hang out with Will.
Yeah.
It was
to see Eleven.
To see his girlfriend, and to hang out with her.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, for sure.
So that's why I do feel like there's like that awkwardness. Like you even see the awkwardness like when he gets off the plane and like that hug.
Yeah.
Like that's so like that was
they
just
did a
like
really good job
moment.
at like capturing that feeling. They did a really good job about that.
The awkward gangly teen era.
God. And
sorry, I interrupted you. We were at she bashes her head in with us.
Yeah. But before that, like they take her and then like make fun of her in the middle of the arena and then like
like they call her out and like they're videotaping it.
Yeah,
because they're videotaping it and like they're circling her like.
Yeah, and it's like Angela got in trouble by the teacher and then she's like, you're a snitch, you did that. I'm like, dude, you did it in the broad daylight. Like that was totally on you.
Yeah, 11 didn't say exactly who pushed her, who bullied her, but like we could tell.
Yeah, she didn't say it. She just like looked just by.
Yeah, but also like if we look at like the way the circle was formed. First of all, the circle was formed and only two people are in the middle. Who else do you think was a participant in the situation?
Exactly. And
the girl behind the girl behind the fucking tree? Absolutely not. Come on.
So
the teacher is an adult. She's not that much of an idiot. Which surprise. Yeah,
literally. And so she bashes her face in. And Mike is like, what did you do? Like, so mad about it, too. And
I also think...
I do think a lot of it was also just shock.
It's hard because you see that 11 does not possess a lot of emotional regulation skills, even within, season 1.
Yep.
Lucas calls her out and says, you're doing this, you're making us go around in a circle and you're not even helping us. And she throws him up against a wall,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I also think that Mike was a little bit confused. Yeah, it's a lot of shock and a lot of surprise. And he does say that, like, he was like, I had nothing to say because I was just, like, shocked. Like, I just didn't know what to do because that's never happened. But it's also, like, the idea of, like, I think because of the way that her letters presented, Mike thought that she was maturing a little bit more.
Yeah.
And was adjusting a lot more for, obviously this large thing not to happen.
Yep. And I do because then...
Also, you should never hit anybody in the face with a skate, ever, regardless of how mad you are. You should either walk away or talk to them.
Yes.
I don't condone it, but also that bitch fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, but also Yeah.
And so then, Beck and Hawkins were introduced to Eddie, who's the head of the Hellfire Club. And
hell yeah.
I will say, I love him. I love him so much. And I know that our editor, Avery, when we were watching it, we were like, wow. He was like, they're like, wow. Pronouns, jeez. They're like, wow, like, his smile. Like, his smile is just so, like, welcoming, and I was like, and I'm like, yeah. He did. They picked the perfect actor for that. He did a phenomenal job with Eddie.
Yeah, not gonna lie, he's a very
Okay, Kaylee.
Is he single? Somebody let me know. You know, somebody give him my number. Casually though, super casually, super casually. I also know that it's a wig, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay that you don't have that hair. Just to let you know, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it's fun because then Lucas actually ended up joining the basketball team. He's also part of Hellfire, but
yes,
and
he
it
is.
was the end of the campaign day.
Yeah,
and
it's
if
a big
you guys
day.
have played D&D, I have not, but I know from hearing and passing and stuff. The end of the campaign that you've been planning for months is a big deal.
Oh, it's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. Like, this is not a small, like, oh, this is like just like a day in the campaign. No, like this is a huge, like this is the end. And he had been working on it for what, 9 months? They had like this was like a all year thing.
Yeah. Because I mean, they played the entire campaign. I think
it was like once a week throughout the year.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think they were playing Strahd.
I know you can play their campaign now. You can just buy the box and play it.
No, or maybe it's at the very end they're playing Strahd.
Yeah, but
they have specific campaigns. Also, a lot of people were like, "Oh, they obviously are playing like 5 version." Yeah, they're playing D5, which is like the newer version. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah," like just to let you guys know that they're not playing the 80s. They're not playing the time accurate D&D. They are playing the more modern D&D.
Yeah.
So just to let everybody know. I mean, I'm sure that people know. I mean, I know that people know that. I just wanted to announce it because I don't think we've ever addressed that.
I don't think we did.
Yeah. So I was like, just to throw it out there.
And so, you know, Lucas is like, guys, like, it'd mean a lot for me to come. Like, it'd mean a lot to me if you guys come to the basketball game, because this is like the championship one too. And so, and I really loved how it's framed because, you know, Dustin and Mike didn't end up going, and they were kind of like scrambling trying to find another person, and they do end up finding Erica. And this is all before Mike gets to California, obviously. And I don't know why, but like one of my main memories of season 4 is Mike running and following Dustin, because his legs are so long and he looks so awkward.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know why, but it just kind of like stuck in my head. But they get Erica, and I really do love how it was framed in the basketball game and the D&D game together. I thought that was really fun, and I love Eddie in the game. Like, you know, just he's so into it, and it's so fun, and they're all into it, and it's very fun.
So the original name of the camp, I know
you're looking it up. Yeah.
Is, I believe, according to Reddit, because I couldn't find any other source, the Order of the Crimson Gauntlet is the original name for Eddie's campaign, but they call it, you know, obviously the Cult of Vecna. But it's the Order of the Crimson Gauntlet. That supposedly, I'm not saying that it is, but supposedly, according to these sources, that is the original name of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So interesting to know that. But yeah, I also love the fact that we're seeing Erica join into the Dungeons and Dragons group, when last season, you know, during the summer, it was all, I'm not a fucking nerd. You're a nerd. Like, how dare you say that I'm a nerd?
They give her the D&D box, which was fun.
Which, I mean, I love to see that happen. And I love to see that she, you know, they look at her, Eddie looks at her and is like, who is this child? Like, I'm not a fucking babysitter.
Yeah.
And love how sassy Erica is.
I love Erica.
And like the entire scene where she says, like, my name is like Princess I think it's I don't remember if she's a princess or if she's Lady. I think she's just Lady Applejacks.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Lady Applejacks. That's like a half elf. Questionable. The Lady Applejacks. Everybody look her up. Who is Lady Applejacks? I think she's like Lady Applejack. I think she's a half elf or half orc. I can't remember. Who is an assassin that will sneak up behind you and stab you in the throat. And yeah, I love that. Like, I also love that she was just so, no, this is it. Like, I am gonna win. Like, I will beat you, and like, don't play around with me. Yeah, and I'm not a child. So I love that, like, cemented piece in that. You know, world. I do,
and I love how Eddie, like, you know, she finishes it off, and Eddie's like, "Welcome to Hellfire." Like,
yeah,
I can't. All right,
that's cool. Yeah, you're right. You know, welcome to Hellfire. Also, it's so interesting to see the turning point of Lucas's character into the transition of we're in high school. And he's trying to transition, necessarily not to be a bully, but he's transitioning out of trying to be bullied.
That's what I said. He's trying not to be bullied.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said he's transitioning into a bully, and I was like, I don't think that he's transitioning into a bully.
No. Yeah, I was like, he's trying not to be bullied.
Yeah. But then not only that is like, he also makes active efforts to get his friends not to be bullied. And it's also like one of those things where it's like I kind of understand where Lucas is coming from in terms of like him wanting his friends to be at that game, because he's like, hey, this is kind of a big deal for me. Like, I really want you guys to be there to support me. You know, and he's like, I know that it's Eddie's last day of his campaign, and I know that Eddie's a senior, and I know that this is important, but also this is important too. And is there any way, like, you know, Lucas wants to reschedule before they go and recruit Erica, but also it's like it's a very common thing in D&D, like, if you miss a session and the session is really big, we will go on without you. Yeah. And you'll just have to, like, catch up. Your character will either, like, be on some hiatus or, like, you know, whatever. Or, you know, people will have subs. Like, people will sub in so that their party is complete and is not going into a battle, like, fucking just not already prepared, because you don't have that one person that could really help you in the long run. And you know,
Mike and Dustin were really in a catch-22 there.
Yeah, I agree, because like D&D to Dustin and Mike and like this club is extremely important, because, you know, Eddie...
I think it's still really important to Lucas, because he doesn't say don't do it. He doesn't say, oh, this is lame. Like, it's like, no, like, I want to be there. He's still a part of the club. He just wants to reschedule it. And so... But I also understand, it doesn't happen. Eddie, where it's like, dude, like, we've been planning this for months. Like, yeah, it's also hard to reschedule.
Yeah, it's already on the schedule, and also it's like you have to like think about like the Hellfire Club is a school club. You know, they're doing it at school. Also, sometimes I'm like, damn, these kids are always at school, and I've never seen any other teacher besides the Mr. What's-his-face?
Mr. Clark, and the teacher in California.
Yeah, Mr. Clark, and then the woman teacher in California, and then...
I think that's it.
Maybe the secretary? I don't know.
But so it's just interesting, and obviously Lucas wins the game, and then he goes and hangs out with the boys.
Yeah, because, like... But also it's like to shoot the finishing shot.
Yes.
Also, I did want to mention the pep rally. Because the pep rally, like, right before the big game was a lot of foreshadowing of, like, I guess, how certain things happen. I also, you know, I kind of agree with Mike and Dustin feeling really uncomfortable and not being able to play it off as well as, like, Lucas, and like to be like not as unbothered as Lucas when in the pep rally, you know, they're like, oh, you know, we mourn the loss for all of these people, and they're like, you don't know them.
Yeah.
Like you don't know them, you don't know what happened, you don't know like the severity of the circumstance, and so for you to be like, we're gonna make this high school win all for them and it's gonna be fantastic.
Sounds like a very high school thing to do, though.
Oh, it is.
For sure.
But also, like, we see Jason's character being set up as an extremely motivating person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he gets everybody hyped for the game. He gets everybody excited, you know, things like that. So, like, you know,
and I do love
also extremely popular.
Because they love, because there's the pep rally, and then I know that in the game they had like that little moment too. And I do love when, because Steve at this point was graduated. He came to come support the game and like come see the game.
Yes.
And I do love how he's like there with someone. She's like, oh, she sounds so beautiful. And he's just like,
that's right, because I want to call her Tracy.
I think so. Stacy. Tracy?
I don't know. The girl that Robin was crushing on before came to sing the national anthem, and I love that Steve was like, yeah, she sounds like, what does she fucking sound like?
Like a Muppet.
Yeah, like a Muppet.
Because he told her that during her coming out. Yes. And then I love how it kind of circled back around to the, they look at each other and he goes like, Muppet. Like, he just mouths it to her and she starts laughing, and then Vicky next to her is like, oh, like, what's fun? And then she's like, oh, she just kind of sounds like a Muppet. And then Vicky's like, oh my god, I'm so glad you agree. Like, I love how like that was the reason they kind of started talking, and they're just, it's cute. And I love,
but I also really like the idea of like, is Vicky into Robin? And I loved like the, we don't necessarily know, because there was mixed signals. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, is she not? Is she?
Yeah. And I do also love how,
I mean, we love a bisexual girl, but like,
we do.
I was like, we love a bisexual queen, but also I understand. Huh?
Go ahead.
Did you say that you wouldn't say that she's bi?
I said I say she is bi. I don't think.
Oh, canonically, yeah, she is.
Yeah, because she
has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, she has a boyfriend. And then her and Robin get together. So, yeah, she is bi.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, I don't know. I doubt that she's pan, but she's bi, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, like, to have, like, that little mixed signal, and also for Robin to be very cautious about who she's saying, because she is correct. This is a small town. Tell the wrong person, everybody knows. And then you're kind of ostracized from your group and everything that you've pseudo built, you know?
Yep. And I do like how, like, obviously the Steve and Robin dynamic is still there, and like how like he's like, no, like, I promise you Vicky is into women, because she paused at that one point in the movie and just like, boobies and she's like, stop saying boobies, you like boobies, their dynamic is
like
so
boobies. I like boobies, it's okay, she likes boobies, we all like boobies.
I love it. And I love how, like, I feel like watching especially like season 1 Steve and like then to season 2, Steve is not the person you think would be supportive of that. And I love how he's just like, nope, so here for it.
Yeah.
Go get your girl.
Yeah, I like that he is supportive, and he, you know, accepted it and was very much like, not like, oh, well, why?
Yeah.
You know? I
He's
enjoy
like,
that
when he like realizes like, oh, she's gay, he immediately was like, oh, and he sits there for a second and he goes, well, she sounds like a Muppet. Like I just love how like, okay.
Like, just immediately like, why would you like her? Out of all the women to like,
why her? Yeah. And I do love how I think it was great for Steve to be like, oh, like, it was great for his development too. Just like, oh, like,
I can actually have a friend.
Yeah.
And also like a friend that's his age.
Yeah. Sorry. We love Dustin and Steve.
Well, yeah, like, we love the kids, but, like, you know, him and his 6 little nuggets running around. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Just like, I love the fact that like it's like, yes, the photo of him in like 6 nuggets, it was really funny, but also, have you seen the photo of it's him and like I think again, like they're in the car or something, or like they're somewhere and like they're taking like a family photo or something, and it's just like him and like the gang.
No, I've not seen
like
that.
you know, Steve and his kids, and you're like, yeah, literally.
No, literally he got his 6 little nuggets.
But also, like, in this season, we do see him be like, hey, I'm not gonna hang back and be the babysitter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
like,
stand
he's
up
really
and I'm
having
do
like
something, you know,
a hard time with like, hey, I'm all like, he even tells, because later Nancy and Robin end up going to get some information about Victor Creel, because, you know,
yeah,
and he, you know, she hands him the keys and he's like, I'm always the goddamn babysitter. Like, he's mad.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but very valid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're playing Scooby-Doo, you know, I'm tired. I don't want to be I don't. Well, actually, he's not even Shaggy. He would be. He'd be Daphne, because Daphne normally is the one that gets captured and, you know, does that.
Yeah. But even Dustin's like, wow, you don't want to spend time with me. Like, it's
okay.
Yeah, and so
Not worth spending time with. But also, you know, like in these first episodes, we see them almost in normal settings. It's like the upside down is gone. Yeah. There's like nothing to worry about in like these first 2 episodes, besides the fact that Elle, you know, hits her with a skate.
Yeah. We do see Chrissy. So Chrissy goes and tries to buy originally weed from Eddie. And
because she does say, like, she's like,
so
I'm having.
I feel like he does a good job at, like, she's like, I'm having a lot of anxiety. You could tell she was nervous about it, and Eddie just like goes into Eddie and like just like
and is himself,
calms her down,
and it's like, but it's also like God. I love that he just showed a lot of like obviously emotional maturity right there.
Yeah.
It was like the idea of like,
we wouldn't think he would have, because we saw him.
I love that you're like, I don't think he would have that. I'm like, yeah, no, like just the moment he was on screen, I was like, I know that archetype.
Oh no, for sure, absolutely. But it's the like, the
nerdy guy that looks really hardcore so that people leave them alone, and then but his deep down inside is
no. But I mean, like, people in like society wouldn't look at him and be like, especially like at that time, like, he's like really mature and like actually like knows his shit. Yeah. That's what I kind of meant. I'm like, no, so I really loved seeing him just like have the emotional maturity and like, hey, like, and he even says like, hey, this is a good idea. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, openly says like, hey, are you sure? I like that. I like it when drug dealers ask you if you're okay. Yeah. Because it is questionable, because it's like one of those things where you're like, hey, like, yeah, weed is one thing, but like, you know,
for like, she asked for stronger shit. Yeah.
Doing coke is a lot different, you know? It's a lot different than just smoking weed. And so, especially like within a small town, like the stigma of like buying or like getting or even selling drugs, and it's like the idea of obviously people go to Eddie because they know that he sells. You know? And that's like initially why they are talking. But, you know, she kind of opens up even in like that little thing. She's like, I'm just like having a really hard time, and like I'm having a really hard time sleeping. Yeah. And like that's the main reason like why she kind of like wants the weed, is because like she's having a hard time sleeping, and she's like, she doesn't tell him outright, but you know, she is having visions at that point.
And so then they do end up going back to his trailer because she does want coke, and like, you know, and so he goes to find it because because they do it after the game. His uncle's.
It's his uncle. That's what I thought. Like, obviously he's getting it from somewhere, and Eddie's like taking it and selling it, which, you know, valid. Like, they live in it seems like obviously Eddie's parents are nowhere to be seen. Yeah. It seems very obvious that Eddie is raised by his uncle, and it's just him and his uncle now. Yep.
And then he goes and gets the coke. He comes back, and Chrissy's like, you know.
Yeah. In a trance.
In a trance. And I'm so sorry. I cannot watch that scene. without the goddamn song in my head. Chrissy, wake
Chrissy,
up.
wake up.
I
Chrissy,
don't like this.
up.
Chrissy, wake up. I mean, oh god, I was like, I watched it on my rewatch. Literally, I watched it on my rewatch, and I was like, wow, no, like it's literally just the song, but like flat.
Well, here's the thing: is like it's so funny because like it's not like he actually sang it. They literally took his vocal clip
and made it into a song.
Yeah, and like they clipped it. That's his original voice. That's his original dialogue. Yeah. It's his original inflection. It's all him. It's just they, a lot of like people are really good at making music and they will make music like that. But I also agree, it's very rhythmic. It makes sense, you know?
It did. And so like this scene that's supposed to be really like, oh shit, like Eddie's like now experiencing like a trauma. Like it's supposed to be you're sitting there like, wow, it's just a song, I'm sorry.
Because like if you think about it, it's like it's one of those things where it's like we can do a lot of references to like what's going on. Like obviously, there are certain things to Vecna that is very much a sign of SA, and trauma from that and PTSD from SA specifically. But now we're also seeing trauma from other things occur. Yeah. And so if we really like break it down, I know I'm wheezing, I'm so sorry. I heard it. I was like, I'm so sorry, guys.
Like, wow, that was loud.
But I was like, I can't help it. I'm so sorry. It is what that is. I'm just, but if we're looking at that, Eddie literally watches her basically commit suicide.
Because you don't know what's happening, and like she gets, and it wasn't just like she just like falls and dies,
and he's trying to stop it.
Raises up, and I mean like it's not a like her all of her limbs get snapped, like. And then like, her eyes go in, and then like it's really not a pleasant looking thing, and that's where we're like, yeah, no, the darkness is a lot amplified. Like that death.
Oh yeah,
that was a really cool death.
Yeah, the fact that it happens in the first episode too.
And so obviously Eddie, and then Eddie runs. He bolts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would also, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I think I would.
That in and of itself is also another big thing for Eddie is that he, runs away, and like we see that arc change throughout the series like as we go. And so to be quite honest, the only new characters that we're seeing that are actually introduced in the first episode is Argyle.
I love Argyle.
And Eddie Munson. Those are the two main characters that are, yes, and Jason, that are introduced in the first episode. But also, we did not mention that Joyce does receive the package in the first episode. She does, and so then it has a doll in it, and she ends up calling. I actually do really like how, like, her and Murray kind of have this friendship now. Like, because they were both there. It's funny.
I do. I really like their friendship. I also really love, I think it's in episode 2, the dinner scene with Murray and the kids and Argyle and Joyce. Like, who the fuck is this kid? Who is Argyle? What is happening?
I think she knows who Argyle is. No, I think Murray. It's just the... Oh, yes, Murray. Murray is like,
who the fuck is that?
Yeah, Murray's like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I do really love how, she gets hit in the face with the skate. And...
Yeah, because that's when they're having dinner.
Yeah.
They all come back from the skating rink after that happened and sit down and have dinner with Murray. So... that Joyce can tell them that they're leaving.
Yeah, it's a business trip.
A business trip to Alaska.
Yeah, and I do think that it was fun because it's also this is where we see Joyce especially. We see it later too, but like she really those are my kids. Like Ella's lumped in like that. Those are my kids. I have 3 kids I need to get home to, but my kids are at home. Yeah, and they're trying to get, and obviously the next day they're gone and Elle gets arrested, but. Like, they're really trying to... I love how Joyce just really went, nope, that's my kid.
Yeah, but also it's, like, the idea of... I feel like I know a lot of people were like, oh, why didn't they just tell them? Like, why didn't they tell the kids why they were going? But it's also I understand why Joyce didn't tell them, because she didn't want to get their hopes up, because what if it was nothing?
Especially, like, Elle. Like, hey, your dad might be alive.
Exactly. Like, what if it was just like somebody playing a prank, or like the government trying to get her?
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't have powers, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, it could have been so many things. And so it's like, I do agree with the choice of not telling them what the fuck she was doing, because I don't think it would have been advantageous. And to be quite honest, yeah, it should have been fine. You know, Jonathan should have been able to handle that. But it's unfortunate that there were so many. I was like, it's not really unfortunate. Fortunate in Joyce's eyes that they, you know, had to go through this thing without her there. Because Joyce is extremely protective over Will. I wouldn't even say over Jonathan. I know that sounds really bad, but a lot of times it's like Will's like, oh, I can do it. And then she's like, Jonathan, do you got that? And he's like, oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
And also we figured out that Jonathan did not apply to the same school as Nancy.
Yeah, Jonathan did not apply to school with Nancy.
She was going to come visit, but she doesn't end up coming and visiting. And obviously now tons of different things are happening.
Yeah, and so now she is investigating the murder of Chrissy over her spring break.
With her friend Ed. And he also starts having visions of... and he does also end up dying. Like, he has the same thing happen. Yeah. He gets raised up and, like, the same thing happen. And it's just interesting seeing the visions of his...
I do like the flash visions that we were getting with, what was his name again?
Fred?
Yes, with Fred. From the people around him look normal, and then they look like they're part of the Upside Down.
Yeah, I do like that.
I did enjoy those flashes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And we also see Max really struggling.
Yeah.
Like, she's really struggling with the death of her brother, which I think is really interesting because it's such a conflict. Like, we see it with her. It's like, I hated you. I wanted you to die. But now that you're gone, I don't want you to be dead.
It's also like it's the idea of you can love somebody, but you can also still hate and resent the person that they were and their character. But yet there's still that deep love for them.
And that's why I know I mentioned last week. Where I'm wondering if his dad, like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know about sexual assault, but like, put his hands on her. Billy did protect her from that. So there's that like underlying, like, that really wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. But also like you do see that Billy is the shield, because it seems like the dad won't do that to her. He'll do it to the mom, but he won't do it to her as much, because even we like kind of saw it where it was him taking everything out on Billy. Yeah.
I mean, you see... Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Billy did kind of step. I feel there were a couple moments where, she's just being a kid. And he was like, no, you need to go get her. I think Billy does try to downplay what Max is doing, because he knows his dad would do it to her. So that's why I'm like, I think there's that element of Billy where he did protect her, and he was protecting her in a very shitty... He's a racist asshole, awful person. Sure. Like, definitely. But I think all of that was, hey, just trying to protect her from her dad. What? I think that it was him trying to protect her from her dad. From the dad. Yeah. I think it was like, stay away from him. Like, and yeah, but it's also like being racist, but it's also like, I think deep down it was like, he's going to get mad at you if you hang out with him. And I think like, it was just that. And so, but also it's like you have to think about it, like they came from California. It did seem like, obviously the first couple of episodes in season 3 was very much like, hey, do you remember what we talked about? Like, how we're going to like be together and like, we're going to hate this place collectively. Like, why are you assimilating so well? And like, you see that Billy is resentful and jealous that like, the only thing he's been getting has been bitches. Because like, you see him take home like a different girl every single day from school. Yep. In season 3, he literally takes home a different girl every single day. And I'm like, we know that he's a player. And we know that like, that's like something that he does within his personality, and does, obviously make him participate within asshole behaviors, not only like the way that he raised, but just also like the way that he acts. Yep. But it's also like, she
not only from like the death of Billy, she's struggling with that, but she also like, you know, watched another guy walk out on her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because he couldn't handle it. And they ended up staying. You know?
Yep. And so, like, Billy's dad leaves, and like, her mom's a drunk. Like, she's not doing too hot.
Yeah, but it's also, like, the idea of, like, you know, he was paying for that house that they were living in.
Yep.
You know, like, they live in a trailer now, because that's all they can afford.
Yep.
And her mom is, like, a drunk, but she's also working 3 fucking jobs.
Oh, yeah, literally. Like,
you know, she's a single mom that's working 3 fucking jobs. Like, at that point, I'm, like, not gonna lie, I think I would be an alcoholic, too, so.
Oh, yeah, so valid. But she, so, like, Max is also going through it in that sense, and, you know, she's not doing too great.
Yeah, see that Max and Lucas broke up.
Yeah.
So, obviously, something happened. I mean, we kind of know that, you know, later on in the series, like, Lucas is like, you just left. Like, you're physically here, but you left. You're gone. Like, I don't know where you are, and I don't know how to get you back, but you know, the self-isolation is a big deal, you know?
Yeah. And so we see, and then,
but we also see her escape into music often, you know? She's always having her headphones on. She is avoiding them in certain ways because she didn't join Hellfire.
No.
You know, so she's even separating herself from them, from like her other friends in general.
And, you know, they kind of all come together again, and they realize that, like, Chrissy and Fred both saw, like, she knew Chrissy went to the counselor, and so they broke in and, like, saw her and, like, the files and stuff, and then she starts having a vision, and she hears the grandfather clock, and not great at all.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, what is happening? Because now she's in the trance. And I feel like that's, and then, like, back in California, they're being, like, shot at and they leave. Like, I feel like the California plot line isn't much. I mean, they really left out this season.
Yes, because, like, you know, if you think about it, the main thing that happens in California is that Elle is now captured. Owens has arrived and gives her an option. Hey, you either you stay and do this because Hawkins is in trouble. You stay and you do this with Brenner, who is a man that you hate. Yes, we know that you call him Papa. Papa! Papa! Papa, Papa! You are like Papa. I'm so, like, that, I think that
you are like Papa.
Yeah, like, that line will always be cemented in my head of her saying that. Like, there are certain, like, iconic lines from Stranger Things that I'm like, that'll probably stick with me, and every time I think of the series, it's gonna come up. But, you know, to stay with Brenner and maybe potentially get her powers back. But it's also like that's such a gamble.
Yeah.
That's such a gamble, and she can't go and she can't tell Mike, and, you know, obviously Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Argyle are going to now look for them.
Oh, so, absolutely.
You know, they're going and they're looking for them. And I love the fact that Argyle works for Surfer Boy Pizza.
Yep.
I really do enjoy it, and everybody should call the number on the side of the van because it does work.
Does it still work?
I don't know if it still works, but I know it used to.
That's fine.
I'm assuming that it would. I'm assuming that it's just like a line that they set up that will work for a
good hot second. Yeah. I know that they did that with Gravity Falls, which I think is fun.
You know,
there's a couple lines that if you call on Gravity Falls, Grunkle Stan answers.
Yeah. I think it's so fun. It's like, it's such a fun little addition to it.
That's fun. But it's also really, like, Argyle, you know, witnesses his first death. And they go to bury him, and he's like freaking out. And I love how Will's like, "Hey, like, how about you go get the weed from the car and, like, go calm down."
Like Jonathan is very much like, "Hey, man, it's okay. Just, like, go smoke something and, like, you'll calm down a bit. Like, we're chilling, you know, like, just calm down. Like."
And I love how I was like, "Have you done this before? Why are you so calm?" Like,
yeah. I love that line because it's so true.
And I do love how he starts making a little tombstone. He's like, Brian, he's like, and you put our names there?
Yeah, like, he was...
I love him.
It's like okay, never mind. It's fine, you know?
Yeah. And then Jason back in Hawkins starts realizing, like, finds out that Chrissy died at Eddie's thing, and now he's, like, trying to hunt down Eddie. Eddie's in hiding. Dustin, Steve, Robin, Luca, nope, Mike, nope, Robin, whatever. They go find him.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. Dustin, Steve, Nancy, Robin go find Eddie. Thank you.
Got it.
And, you know, Lucas is kind of like with Jason trying to find him, but I feel like at that point he's just trying to find them to warn them and be like, oh no. And so they go to Dustin's house, he breaks in and is like on the thing, trying to be like, hello, answer me. And then he just books it. He's like, nope, I'm not a part of this anymore. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's also like one of those things where it's like you know, now we're seeing the parallel of Lucas and, you know, these big guys and this very much mob mentality trying to go after Eddie when they don't know anything about the facts. Because at that point, yes, we knew that Chrissy was dead, but I necessarily know that he was like suspect number one.
Yeah.
You know, until we get to toward I guess the middle of it.
When they're like, oh, it's a satanic. Oh, because then what's his face dies in the lake, and then he does a satanic cult thing.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's interesting to see, but also it's like these teenagers are really fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming out with bats, like, ready to beat somebody's head in. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Insane.
Like,
and then they end up going, because I know that
your girlfriend died, but like, still. And so, like, Lucas is like roped into following them because he's like, yeah, come on, guys, like, we all gotta go. We gotta do this together.
Yeah.
So I do like that Lucas, like, is warning them, like, hey, like, you guys gotta get out. Like, I haven't been able to contact you guys because he's fucking crazy. Yeah,
and I do love also how, like, later on we see, like, the satanic cult stuff happens, and then we see how, like, far he's willing to go, because they all go to, like, because this group goes to, like, a gun store.
Yes,
to try
that's
to kill
right, Nancy.
Vecna.
Yeah.
But then they see, like, Jason and his group there, and it's like, oh, fuck, we need to leave now. And
yeah, but also it's like it's such a big thing, because honestly that scene was really large, because when Nancy buys that shotgun and she has that interaction with Jason and he grabs the barrel, she immediately is like, you're right, it is long. Somebody could just come up and grab the barrel. We gotta saw that shit off. Which is illegal.
It is illegal.
It is illegal. Do not do that. I think it's a felony or something.
I think so. Like, don't do that.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
I do like Nancy in this season, in the sense of, like, she's not with Jonathan.
Yeah, I do like Nancy on her own, but this season...
her and Robin kind of, like, they're really, like, clashing in the beginning, and then them kind of starting to, like, oh, look.
Yeah, I do.
Because we haven't seen her with another female dynamic since Barb.
Yeah, exactly. Since Barb, she hasn't had, like, another, like, deep personal female friendship on screen, which I think is a really big deal for her, you know?
And so it was fun to see, like, obviously, Robin is the exact opposite of Nancy, and so they're clashing, and they're clashing, and they're clashing. And then Nancy's like, oh, she found, like, you see her kind of like, oh, wait a minute. Like, she's smart. She's figuring this out.
Yeah.
And then, like, throughout the season, you see them really getting closer. I did like that.
Yeah, and I honestly, I loved the scene where Nancy and Robin are undercover, and, you know, Robin is wearing, like, Nancy's clothes that's, like, stuffy and pink and, like,
but did you notice that she dressed her up like Barb?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Because
that's something that, like, that's an outfit that Barb would wear, and I love just the symbolism of that, almost. And I love that Robin was so willing to fight for the cause and like what she thought was right and everything like that. She's very cute. Sorry. Yeah. Kaya is so cute.
Her dog is right there.
Yeah, sorry guys. I get distracted sometimes by the little fur babies.
My fur baby is not allowed in here.
No, because she's a hoodlum. But my fur baby is a good baby.
She might be okay in the morning. She sleeps in until like noon.
No. It's because you're sitting up. She's not going to be okay.
Fair.
You know, and also, like, she doesn't like sitting in there. She prefers sitting on the couch or on the bed.
Yeah, that's true. She's like, I have nowhere comfy to sit. This is useless.
I know. But yeah, I like that she does dress her up as, like, very similar to Barb. But I love that when Robin is in there, I love the monologue that she gives that man. Because I feel like Nancy feels that to her fucking core. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, she's trying to be a reporter. She's trying to do these things, but it is the idea of, she even says it, what if I don't make editor because this guy beats me out?
Yeah.
You know? And that's why she is essentially, like, even trying to go get the story just so that she doesn't get beat out by this, you know, by somebody else, because she wants to be editor.
Yeah. And so I did really, really like that monologue.
Mm-hmm. And I love just, like, the dynamic of it, too. And then, you know, when they go down and they see Victor Creel.
Mm-hmm. Who is the dad of Henry Creel. Who people are like, who obviously we know as one in Vecna.
Yeah.
This is a spoiler review. And so...
It is.
And then we go and we see Elle starting to get her memories back, and we kind of see... I kind of like how they did it.
Yeah, we see
like,
the
over the course again. And how, like, it really overwhelms her. Like, they have to pull her out and, like, revive her. And then we see, like, what actually happened with the massacre.
Yeah. Also, it's like the... How did you feel about it? Because, like, that was, like, a big, technically, quote-unquote, a big reveal of the season, you know?
Yeah, because we always wondered how the Upside Down started. Yeah,
but it's, yes, starting the Upside Down, but also the idea of that Elle didn't kill the kids. Because Elle for so long... But Elle herself for so long has been carrying that weight. Mm-hmm. You know, thinking that she really did that and that she really is, like, that bad person that, like, just kills and murders people. We even see, like, that sense of trepidation and fear in the beginning of the series when she tells Mike she doesn't want to use her powers. Mm-hmm. And says, no, you need to. Like, we're going to die. Please do it.
Yeah, no, literally. And it's also, like, I mean, she does use her powers to kill people. Like, we've seen it. And the way she kills people is quite fun sometimes. But I do understand... I did like it, and I do like how we finally kind of got the reveal of, oh, this is the big bad in the thing. This is how he became the big bad. This is what actually happened. This is why Elle was so scared. All of these things, and I like how we finally... Season 4 was where we put all of those pieces finally together, and Season 5 is the fuck, let's go kill this guy.
Yeah, seriously, because, like, you know, we see the horrible dismemberment of, you know, Chrissy and Fred, and Max knows that she's next and she's terrified, and I thought it's interesting. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm sure that we'll talk about a little bit more when we get into season 5. That way it won't be, like, as big of a spoiler, but interesting that she writes letters to everybody where, like, Will sits everybody's, like, down to tell them together. But it's like I also understand that, like, you know, there's a lot of things to say. You know, when she reads that note to Billy, she openly says, like, I'm conflicted. I regret not stepping in, but half of me wanted you to die because I knew that part of my life would be gone and I wouldn't have to suffer in terms of you being cruel, but I also am still your sister. Yeah. And I still love you, and I'm sorry that I froze. And, like, you see her struggle with the survivor's guilt. You see her struggle with the PTSD. And you also see her, like, struggle through depression because of the PTSD. Yeah.
For sure. I do love seeing it portrayed, too. I feel like it's portrayed quite well.
I also think that Sadie Sink does a really great job with her character in within like the script that she was given and the time frame that she was even on screen, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, in time-wise, she is not really on screen that much.
And I guess we should probably jump to Russia, where they're doing the trade.
Yeah, I was like, I know that like we haven't even gotten there yet.
So they do the trade, and then Yuri, who's the guy that's kind of managing the trade, because Hopper's alive, he's in the Russian prison, and one of the guards is helping him, because the guard wants to leave too. Antonov. Or
actually, that's not his name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Yuri's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to trade all of you in and get even more money. And then the guards end up...
think about it.
Yeah, and the guards end up, like, taking Antonov, and then he's now in the prison. They go and capture, because Hopper got out. He was released, and then he was captured again. So now they're in the same prison. And Hopper, honestly, like... I love one of his monologue in the prison cell with Antonov.
Yeah.
I love that monologue. It's one of my favorites. And I also do love how, like, they have the dinner scene because they want... And I love how Hopper is like, no, like, I fought one of these things. Like, they want you to eat so you're slower, and then the monster also gets the nutrition that it needs. Like, there's a reason they're feeding you like this. And I do love how he grabs the bottle by falling. And...
Yeah.
And then I love how Antonov and him fight in the room, and then he goes, yeah, no, you're, like, guys, look, we're good. And then they come up with the plan. But that monologue of him, like, I don't know, man, like, about Sarah and his and then about Elle. It's a great monologue.
Yeah, it is one of those heartbreaking, heartfelt monologues because you see Hopper almost give up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I also agree. I agree with Hopper. He's like, I have mixed feelings sending this to Joyce because the moment I do, I know that she's going to be in danger, but the moment I do, I know she's going to come.
Like, I want one more happy moment type thing.
Yeah, and it's just like the idea of like, I know she's going to come. I just want to see them again, but I also feel like deep down inside, I don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't deserve it because of what I've done in the past and about how, like, you know, things unfolded. And he feels extreme guilt over, you know, the death of his daughter.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I caused that. He was like, I knew that it was me. I was exposed to so much radiation. I was exposed to this during the war, and I didn't say anything. But I knew the risks, and I put my ex-wife in the situation, and I killed my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And to be quite honest, it's like one of those things where it's like okay, you could potentially spin it like that, but you don't know.
No, it could have just happened.
It could have just happened. She could have just been born with it, and that's it. Regardless if you were exposed to that, but also understandably, I understand where that, you know, that survivor's guilt is coming from. I feel like a lot of this season, we see the PTSD, we see the survivor's guilt, we see the real depression that comes from all of that in dealing with heavy situations.
And it's
all of the time.
Season 1 and 2, you see the trauma with Will. From season 1, and then season 3 is kind of like the in quotes fun season. Obviously, there's tons of shit that happens. Yeah. But it's like we haven't really seen these characters deal with everything that has happened mentally, and this is the season where everyone's kind of going, "Holy shit, I'm tired."
Yeah, but also it's like this is the season where it becomes more and more prevalent because Vecna is targeting the vulnerable. Vecna is targeting people, you know, because they are emotionally more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because they're more susceptible to this. And, you know, I think that it is something to be said, like, you know, like, always reach out, you know, always check, make sure, you know, say hi to them.
And also, like, people are going through things that you don't even know of. So, like...
Absolutely.
Like, everybody has something. There's not a person alive that has gone through absolutely nothing.
Exactly. So, you know, I love to see Hopper express that much emotion, especially because he has been just like I'm a badass cop that like kills and shoots things and protects my family, you know, and it's the emotional weight of being that person, you know, of being that type of person. But then even like watching Joyce moved to California because Hopper was gone. There was no reason for her to stay there, because in season 3 they talk about it. She's like, I think I want to move, and he's like, why?
Like, I'm here.
You got everything here. And
so
why would we move?
Once he died, she had nothing, and so she's like,
and once he was gone, she was like, you know what? I'm ready to move. I don't need to be here anymore. My kids don't need to be here in a place where they experience so much trauma. Which I also want to say that, like, good for her, not only moving for herself, but moving for her kids, because, like, I feel like that was a big deal, because Will even admits it, that he doesn't feel it as much because he's so far away. So the move was really good for Will, but I also think that because they were so far away from the source, that's why it was also incredibly difficult for Elle.
For
you
sure.
know, because you're not feeling that anymore.
And so he finally does see Joyce, and you just feel like this like relief on both of their faces.
Yeah.
And it's just so and they do end up escaping.
Yeah, it's fucking hard, you know. And it's also like one of those things where it's like in my head, I'm also like, Joyce has been working as a telemarketer, and I know that it was back in the 80s, so like the wage gap disparity was not as large, but I'm like, where the fuck did she get $40,000 from?
Yeah, no idea.
She has 3 kids.
Oh, no,
and a mortgage.
It was Hopper's money. He took it from, he said take it from his save, like his L, like the thing he saved for Elle. That's what he said.
Oh, so they used her college fund. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. You know, like, where the fuck did these $40,000 come from?
It was Hopper.
Because, like, that's a large sum of money. Even now, like, that's a large sum of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's just like that's crazy.
No, literally.
But I also love Murray's and Joyce's dynamic as they were going to Russia. Like,
when they fought him on the plane, stop. That was so great.
But also, it's just like the way that Joyce is. She's just like, no, like, we don't need to. No, stop. We need to do it like this. Just immediately. She's like, no, we have to do it like this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And she is just like so firm in that boundary, and like how it's just like like, let's do this. No, we're doing it now. Like, there's like a very small ramp, but there's like a very clear break when she's like, this is it. I'm so done. Why are you not listening to me?
Yeah, literally. And I do, like I said, love Murray fighting Yuri. And I do
also like how Murray is just like, you can tell, like, he's not a fighter, but like the fact that he's still doing it is like, I'm like, yeah, Murray, you go. Murray. Yeah.
And I do love how they were like, oh, because Yuri, they were going to go into the prison to go get Hopper. And I do love how Yuri is like, well, how do you know I'm not going to say anything? He was like, well, because you're going to be Murray. And so, like, I like how they did that. And I do like how, you know, they get out of the prison. The Antonov is there, Yuri, Murray.
And they did kill, they didn't kill the demo dog, which I thought was kind of an interesting thing to think about.
And then, like, I do love how,
does the demo dog, actually, though, does the demo dog die?
They go back. They go back to the...
Yeah, I know that they go back, but, like, do they kill the dog?
I think so, yeah. I don't remember. Not gonna lie. But this is also the first time that, like, Joyce and Hopper kind of get a moment, obviously in, like, 8 months. And just her reaction to, like, all of the scars on his back. And all of the, like, because he got really skinny. Like, and obviously, like, his hair, he's skinny, he has tons of scars everywhere. It's also the first time they kiss, and it was just so cute. I was like, finally! Now go kill things just like your children.
Not gonna lie, I kind of thought they were gonna have sex right then and there.
Oh my god, I did too. I was like, wow, God.
And I was like, there's people.
Guys, and you're like not hiding. Like you guys are just like behind like a crate.
Yeah, and also it's like I know. Murray is a real one because he's like, if they were to have sex, I don't think he would kind of acknowledge it and be playful about it.
Oh, absolutely.
But he would not be like, ew, guys, you can't. He's just like, oh yeah, was it good?
Yeah, like, was
it fun? Literally. How was the pullout?
Yeah, you're like, God. Like, Murray. I mean, he's a creep, but we love him anyway.
Yeah.
And he really did. I didn't really like him the first time I saw him, but he really grew on me as the seasons went on. I do love how they finally got that kiss, and I really also thought they were gonna have sex. And I remember just going, guys, like, breathe. But it was also so, like, you could see, like, they've just been waiting, like, that passion that they were, like, and it's still there.
Yeah.
And so I really do love how passionate that kiss was in the sense of, like, they've been waiting so long, even before he, in quotes, died. Like, they've been waiting so long, the tension was there, and it's just, like, fine. And it's also, like, yes, obviously, we all thought they were gonna have sex, but it was also Hopper finally felt like he was at home. You know, like, Joyce was, like, home. And so it was just, like, that. It was a very, like, relief kiss. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, there were so many layers to that kiss that just...
But it was also, like, it was so built up. It was, like, one of those things where it's, like, the tension behind it.
God.
But, yeah. But I loved it. I thought it was great, you know?
Yeah. It was great. And then they do end up going back because they know that just from the sound, they're like, oh, fuck. Like, that's going to help our kids. Somehow. They're like, we know it's connected. It's going to help our kids. And so they end up going back into the lab and killing the Demogorgon with... Murray has, like, a fire gun thing. What's it called?
Flamethrower.
Thank you. And...
That's what a sound of flamethrower makes. Sorry.
Thank you, Kaylee.
I'm so sorry. That's not a sound that needed to be there, but it needed to be there.
For your brain.
Yeah, that's the sound of a flamethrower.
Murray does a great job. And also, they were going to leave, too, but the plane or the helicopter that Yuri has where he's like, this is my baby. And, like, how much he loves his helicopter. It's so funny. And I love how Antonov is, like, makes him work. And, like, no, you're going to fix this. I don't care. And how he really, like, forces him to, like, because he was going to leave, like, he took out a part so it wouldn't fly.
Yeah, because he wanted to, like, stall them because he was really thinking about turning them in, you know?
And so then eventually after conversations with Antonov, he does, you know, finally get the plane working. And they leave and they do get home. And I will say, the Hopper and Elle reunion
was very good.
Was so good. And I love how it's like, your hair. And then she's like, your hair.
Yeah, your hair. And he's like, oh, you look good. You look healthy. And she's like, you're not fat.
I love it. And just like the tear. Oh my gosh. I love the reunion. I'm a sucker for that stuff.
Hopper being like, hey, let's go eat some waffles.
Yeah, like, oh, I can't wait to have let's go have our triple decker Eggo thing. And I'm like, oh god.
And get fat together.
I'm like,
he's like, yeah, because now I can get fat.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm really skinny. Yeah. And so it's just like that moment was amazing.
And I also love the nonverbal moment between her and Joyce, like the thank you in their eyes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The thank you for being there. Thank you for being my mom. Thank you for bringing him back. Thank you for, you know, the support that you've given me and, you know, obviously the family that you've provided.
Yep. And then I also love the, well, I guess kind of going back to Dustin and that plot line and stuff. Mm-hmm. Steve, Robin, Dustin, Eddie are now in the Upside Down.
Yes, because they're
fighting
through.
Vecna. Yep.
Yeah, well, they're technically not fighting Vecna. In certain terms, they fight the bats first. Eddie does end up dying. And well,
so
yes,
sad.
but also I think we should talk about Max's scene first before we talk about that scene. You know, because we kind of just glazed over it. Because I honestly think that this
The climax of season 4 is very good.
Yes, and I would say that the climax in season 4 is when Max is at Billy's grave. I think that was one of the biggest climaxes of season 4, and honestly, I thought they did a great job. Yeah, I thought she did a great job. The vulnerability in the scene was amazing because, you know, you're seeing her open up and read the letter to Billy's gravestone. Yep. A letter that, like, you know, she couldn't write to anybody because she's scared. At this point, she's terrified because she knows that she's next. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they don't have the information that like, you know, to follow the song or anything like that yet. And, you know, she's reading this and she's like trembling, and like the guys are like watching her and they're like, yeah, like we're watching her, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, obviously she gets possessed and starts like floating in the air, and like that scene of them trying to pull her back down. Yep. I think it's just so impactful because that is like such a way that they're always gonna, I hope that everybody has somebody in their life that would do something like that for them. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, when you see your friend sinking, and you see your friend like literally drowning, and like, yeah, she's floating up in the air, so it's like a little bit of like a different symbolism, but like, you know, it's the idea of like they're so like they need you, you know. They're all like thinking about that, and like how many scenes like flashes in her head about how much she's not worth it, how much she disappointed her mom, how much she caused the original divorce between her mom and her dad. Yep. How she, you know, caused Billy's dad to leave because she let Billy die. Yeah. You know, and she's the only one that actually knows how Billy died because they all just think that he disappeared. Mm-hmm. Technically they think that he died in the mall, and like, you know, yeah, like, but like here's the thing is like, but like the bodies were never recovered. Yeah, none of them were, like they were all just like sapped into the upside down. But it's also like the idea of like she's the only one that knows what happened. Yep. You know, and that's a huge burden on her. And, you know, the other characters are not feeling like that because the other characters had a lot more plot armor and they did not lose anybody like as close as a sibling to them. Mm-hmm. You know, and so I just think that it is so like impactful to like to see Max like floating in the air and like watching them like grab onto her. And yeah, then, and I also do love how like right before that she's like, no, just give me a few minutes, and then Steve was like, yeah, fuck this is taking too long, and then he goes over and he's like, hey, what's happening? Yeah. And he's like, she can hate me, I don't care. But yeah, it's like she can hate me, I don't care, but like this is taking forever, and like not that they're necessarily being impatient, they're just getting concerned. Yeah. Because like not only that is while that's happening, they're still trying to help Eddie, and Eddie is hiding out now, not even at the house that he was at, like at the safe house that he was at. He's just under Skull Rock. Yeah. He's just chilling there. Yep. Having a good old fucking time. Yeah, and then, you know, then they finally figure out about the music, and Dustin is like screaming like, music, we need the music, get the music. Yeah, and like they're like trying to pull her down and like put the tape in and like do all of that stuff, and they do, you know, end up like pulling her down and have to put the headphones on, but then you see her like lift up even more and they can't reach her anymore. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the music finally starts, and then we see her, and like in her mind it's like the running up the hill scene, which is obviously one of the most iconic and like but scenes. It's also like the idea of like, you know, at this point, like Vecna is holding her. She is like fighting him off. She's like trying to like break free because like, you know, like she's being like tied to the post thing, the wall. Yeah, like the wall, a column, part of the house, like I don't know what you would call it, but you know, into the house, to be integrated into the house. You know, and she looks over and she sees like the gnarled bodies of Christy and Fred. Like she sees them. And you know, that's terrifying. And so it's like the idea of of that happening is scary. And like then she like hears the song, and then you know it opens up and she sees her friends. She sees her friends panicking. She sees her friends like how much like they want her.
Yeah.
And so it's like the song is also like the lyrics.
Yeah.
The lyrics of the song, I think, was first of all, great choice in song. You know, looking back in the time that it was released, that song actually was not like a really popular song back then.
Yeah.
And so I really just enjoy how like they incorporated it, and I love Kate Bush's reaction was, I didn't know that they were going to use the song. She was like, I didn't know that they were going to get paid to, like, she was like, I didn't know that. She was like, but like she obviously got royalties every single time they use the song. Anytime like everybody like streams it, she gets like royalties. And she was like, I didn't realize that like this would be like a resurgence of my music career. And she's like, you know, obviously in her like what 70s,
probably,
you know, 60s, 70s. Actually, she probably is older because she was releasing music at that time. She's probably like in her 20s. So let's like, like 70s, 80s now.
Yeah, let's see how I can look it up.
And so it's like even like her as an artist now was like responding to the response from Stranger Things. It's like, she was like, yeah, like that's crazy.
He's 67.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was a lot younger than I thought that she was, but yeah, like she was also just like shocked and like very, you know, happy that her song could make such a lasting impression even like nowadays. But it's like the lyrics of the song really hold up to what Max is going through.
Yeah.
In all certain terms, like when we really like look at you know, it says like openly it has a lot of feelings of like loss and isolation because it's the you know, like it doesn't hurt me, and that's her like really like dealing with that loss. And like the idea of like asking other people like, do you want to know how it feels, like do you want to know, like do you want to know how much it doesn't hurt me, because like everybody's always asking like, are you okay, are you doing okay, but it's also like at the same time you're like, I'm over it, like stop asking.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like the idea of like a lot of people like feel that. And then it's like, you know, obviously the chorus is like the biggest part that is played. And it's the idea of like, for me, it's the idea of like she could swap places for somebody that's not feeling the way that she's feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if I only could, I would make a deal with God to like swap places with you or anybody. Like I would do anything for that. But obviously, like I feel like Kate Bush is like writing it more of like if I could take your hurt and your pain away, like I would do it. Like I would make a deal with God to save you.
Yeah.
And so it's like I do think like that iconic scene is so big and is really shaping about how this scene goes. It is a huge character development for Max and Lucas.
For sure.
Because we watch Lucas drastically change from the beginning of the season to the end. You know, and even like the idea of like them finding out that Max could be next. You know? And like we see that Lucas, we even see like from like the very beginning, because Lucas does invite her to that game, that like Lucas is still in love with her and still wants to be with her, but it really was her that was like, I need to take a step back. Like I can't do this. I can't. So, you know, I do love the scene. It's so good, and it makes me cry every time. Yeah. Like I was even on the rewatch, I remember rewatching it and Ashley calling me and me being like, what the fuck do you want right now, you dumb bitch? And she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm watching this scene and I just want to fucking cry. And she was like, oh well, like, do you want to talk? I was like, yeah, let's just talk. Let's talk so I can get a fucking let's talk so we can get it over with.
No,
no, it's fine. just let's fucking talk so we can get it over with, and then I can watch my scene without you bothering me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I love the scene because, you know, afterwards, like, we see her be like, maybe it is best to reach out for help. Yep. Maybe I do need help. Maybe I don't need to be as scared as I am, even though regardless of the circumstance, it's terrifying, you know? And then also, like, the decision to bait Vecna at the end is so strong, and it's so brave of her. And it's like the idea of like, hey, this plan hinges on you guys hopefully not watching me fucking die.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's also really interesting because technically she does die. She does.
Yeah, she does.
Because Jason,
her heart stops
on her Walkman. Yeah, and so she does die. Elle revives her. But the thing that I found really interesting is
Elle revives her 5. In the
upside down, in the void.
Yeah.
But the thing that I found really interesting, again, spoilers for season 5. At the end of season 4, she's blind.
Yeah, a lot of people had issues with
I was
it.
like, why is she not blind? I guess maybe like in the reviving, she like fixed things, but I don't know.
I know that sounds really bad. I wish that she was permanently blind. I wish that she had like some sort of scarring from that time. But I also do understand why they chose not to.
Yeah.
I do understand why they chose not to, because I will admit the moment she sees Lucas's face when she wakes up in the hospital for season 5. Yeah, spoiler, she's here. But it was heart-wrenching. Because you see, not only that is like after this pinnacle scene, and then she makes the large decision to bait Vecna and like sacrifice herself for her friends and for the people that she loves, is a big character arc, because you see her struggle with the idea of, I was too scared to stop somebody to die.
Yeah.
And now I know where I stand and what I can do next. And I'm not going to do that again. But then to watch Lucas fight Jason and his crony.
Yep.
As he's watching her like die almost, is heart-wrenching. Like, I will admit that the scene where like he is like getting beaten up by these guys, and
also they're trying to beat up Erica too. Can you point that out? Like, she's a child.
Yeah, like they're trying to grab her, and I first of all love like she's just Erica. Like a no nonsense like kick you in the balls and run type of girl, and I'm like, go, go. But also it's like she's smaller than them. You have to like think about it. Like she like just isn't like she's in middle school now. She's in middle school. She says it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she says it to Eddie when like they do their campaign. She's like, no, I'm in middle school, or she's like, I'm 12 or something. She's not, like a kid, you know. And in like 12, you're in 7th grade.
Yeah, because we know in season 5 that she's in Mr. Clark's class, which is fun to see. So but then maybe she's in 8th grade there. I don't know.
Yeah, so I would assume that she's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Because I think Mr. Clark does both.
You think so?
Well, I thought he did. I don't know if he only does middle school.
I don't know either. I think he only does middle school. So that's why I was like, maybe she's in 6th grade. Because there's an 18-month gap in between seasons 4 and 5. And so that would put her in 6th grade, because then you have the year of 7th grade into 8th grade. So I'm going to say she's in 6th grade.
No. In season 4? To be in 6th grade? No.
But how would she be in middle school in season 5 if there's an 18-month gap? She'd have to be in 6th grade, because then you have the entire year season of 7th grade.
7th and 8th grade?
Huh?
Because this whole season she would be in 7th grade.
Yeah, but then a year later, that put her into middle school, or high school. But Mr. Clark doesn't teach high school.
A year later, she'd be in 8th grade.
But it's 18 months. So you have the year plus another 6 months. And so that's over 7th grade. It'd put her in 8th grade if she's in 6th grade now.
Yeah, she would be in 8th grade in season
5.
Yeah, she's in 8th grade
So
in
then
season
that would
5.
mean she's in 6th grade now in season 4. Okay, think about it, Kaylee. Think about it, because a year. Okay, so let's say 6th grade.
But like, you have to understand, like, it's summer.
Yeah, but still a year.
Like season 4. So season 3 is summer, which is the gap year that she has between 6th grade and 7th grade. Is the summer months, and then she's going into 7th grade here.
Yeah, but a year later.
This is the first year.
But I know, but school's only 9 months. And so a year and 6 months, that's like, you skip a grade, you're into the next grade. I'm looking it up.
Well, yeah.
She's 13.
No. She was in 7th
she's 11. In
grade.
season 4, she's 11. And when you're 11, you're in 6th grade. Aren't you?
I don't fucking know. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, I think, because I turned 16 in sophomore year, so that means 14, 15, 13, 14 would be 8th grade, 12, 13 is, she's in 6th grade, because 11, 12 is 6th grade, and then 12, 13 is 7th, 13, 14 is 8, and then 14, 15 is, she's in 6th grade in this season.
Okay, sure, whatever. I don't know. I don't know kids' age, and I don't know anything about schooling.
Yeah, you were homeschooled. Yes, she is in 6th grade. I was going to put her in 8th grade. Yeah. I'm right.
I don't know. Sure, you're right. I don't know. It's just like, it's hard because it's hard because they are actually like growing up and like they're preteens, and so it's like hard to like look at them and be like, yeah, that's a young child. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, they are trying to grab her, and that kind of throws off the entire plan. And like, Lucas is trying to like fight to get the signal out.
Yep.
But like, he's fighting off those cronies, and even like reaching up for Max, like trying to get her like to him. But like, you are right. Elle does save her. She finds.
I also heard that like
her
she was
spirit in the void and revives her that way.
Yeah, but then her
spirit is lost.
Really itchy. The scene when after she comes back down and like she's dying, Lucas's like guttural scream when he's like, "Erica, help!" Oh my god! I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." But apparently they had to film. I mean, it makes sense, but like they filmed that scene and then they had to film the one in the void a couple days later, and he was like, it was kind of hard getting back to that like level.
Like back to that level, because you were like, oh, we already shot the scene. Like yes, it would have been easier for them to do back to back to back, but obviously shoot schedules can only be so long.
But oh god, his acting in that is just the Erica's face of, oh shit.
Well, yeah, because it's the what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But also it's like I understand like why he's like calling for Erica, because she's the only one around. Mm-hmm. Because if not, I'm sure that he would be calling for Nancy or Steve or Dustin, anybody, even Eddie, like, anybody else that would have been close by, but they were together on that team,
Yeah.
It was them 3 outside of the thing. Like, of the underground, and seeing that happen is just heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking.
But also, like, and then seeing Lucas's like switch, like you see openly like the switch that he has, where he's like, no, I have to fight. This is a fight, and this is a fight for our life, because he knows how fucking psycho Jason is.
Yeah,
like he knows.
That's also like. Obviously, don't do what Jason did. But it was like when he saw, like, Jason trying to get Max out of it too. Like, hey, like, what's happening? Like, you saw the humanity side of him there. It's like, because technically, I mean, again, do not condone what he's doing. That is insane.
Because Jason thought that he was sacrificing her.
He was sacrificing her because he thought that it was like a satanic club. But it's like, so in his mind, he's like, no, I'm trying to save these people. Like, they're trying to do the same thing, just very polar opposite. Does that make sense?
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
Crazy. His death is great when the ground like cracks open and he literally melts. Yeah. I was like, wow, I was
and he like rips apart. But it's also like the crony, doesn't die because he's chasing after Erica in the woods.
Yep.
And so he doesn't necessarily see what happened. But, like, you know, that split apart was so good.
So good.
That was, like, so good.
But we do have to talk about
obviously
Sir
we
Eddie.
gotta go into, I was like, we gotta go into that a little bit more because,
oh my
you know,
gosh. It also
they're
made
at
me
Skull
cry.
Rock. I'm sorry. I loved this turning point for Eddie. Because obviously Eddie watched Chrissy die and then turns around and then watches the other basketball dude die.
Well, they're all chasing him to murder him.
Yes, while Jason is chasing, like while he's getting chased down because, like, they found him and they're trying to murder him, you know, goes back, and I love it, the way that he says it, and, you know, like, the idea of a quest. He's like, going into Mordor seems dumb, but the Shire is burning. Mm-hmm. So onward we go.
Yeah.
Because he's right. There's no reason. First of all, love the Lord of the Rings reference. But it's also, like, the idea of, like, he is right. Why we need to turn. We need to make a turning point. And he openly says, he's like, I'm not going to run it. I'm not going to run anymore. Like, the moment when they're on Lover's Lake and they realize that the portal is open and they do jump through for the first time, you know, Steve's like, hey, man, thanks so much for, like, jumping in with me. And he's like, it's not me. Mm-hmm. It's Wheeler. If she didn't jump in and if Robin didn't jump in, I would not have fucking jumped in.
Yeah.
Like, I am a coward. And I don't know how you guys are fucking handling this so well.
Yeah.
Because this is terrifying. This is not anything that he ever wanted or, like, imagined for himself.
Yep.
But then, you know, that happens. And then we see him, like, at Skull Rock. And then we see, you know, Dustin's proposal. Are you going to venture into Mordor with us? Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Because it is the, yeah, you know what? Actually, we are. We are going to do that. And, you know, to see that turning point for his character, I think was so...
And this is what I did love seeing, like, right before the big battle when they're all going into the Upside Down and shit. Like, we get that nice moment in the field. It's light, and they're all kind of just messing around when, like, Steve and Robin have that conversation. I do love also Eddie, just him and Dustin and Eddie just, like, poking at each other, just being like, ah! And then, like, and Eddie Dustin, like, hey, like, never change Henderson. Which is so sad.
Yeah, like, when they're getting ready to go into the... Sorry, I thought I heard a phone. But, yeah, I think it's outside of... Yeah. But it's so interesting to see, like, how impactful Eddie is on Dustin. Because, you know, Dustin struggled in high school.
Yeah.
Dustin immediately struggled. And he openly was like, Eddie was our first friend. And he was the only person that came up and was like, hey, we can, like, you'll be fine. Like, come join us. Like, do you want to play, like, you know, do you want to play D&D? You want to join our club? Yeah.
And, like, once again, like, Dustin's performance when Eddie was dying. So good.
But it's also, like, you know, Steve, I like how much Eddie's death affected not only Dustin, but also Steve. Mm-hmm. Because Steve looks at both of them and then says, hey, you guys are the decoys. Don't be heroes. If anything happens, get out, run.
Yeah.
But Eddie finally said, no, I'm not going to do it. I need to buy them more time. You know it. I know it. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, also
just
his
rock concert was great.
Yeah. So good. Also, I love the fact that he learned it on the guitar and he played it himself live.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I'm like, hell yeah, absolutely. Of course he did that.
Absolutely.
That was just the best. That was like, so good. I was like, oh, yes, I'm so glad that you played that yourself.
Yeah. But, God, what if, I mean, really think I'm like, yeah, this was a really fun season. Like,
Yeah,
wow,
this was such a
this is
good season.
Also, God, I know we've talked about it, but when after everything happens and they're at their, like, relief shelter thing, and Dustin goes to his uncle.
That's season 5.
No, it's not. That's season 4. Very end of season 4.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. He goes to his uncle, and it's like, I never even saw him get mad, and then you sent me.
I'm sorry. I love that edit. The Dustin is like crying, like being like, Eddie had so much humanity. He was such a good man, and he's like, I never even saw him got mad, and just like, Jesus Christ! What is happening? What are you doing?
Literally. And he, God, I don't know, I feel like I have a bug bite on my ear. It's really itchy. But when he goes, because his uncle is, like, putting up posters, and, like, Dustin goes up to him, and he's like, I don't care, like, my nephew's not a murderer. And he's like, I know. You know, like, that's just, it's so sad, and it's just so sad. And then also I do love how Robin and Vicky get to, like, see
how they kind of, like, get to have, like, their little...
And how Steve is looking over so happy for her.
I mean, I would too. Like, you know, like, they're volunteering at the shelter, and, like, she finally gets to, you know, express herself and, like, you know, interact with her. But also it's like we know that Vicky was dating that older guy. Mm-hmm. That like the guy that was in college, and she was like, yeah, he was here for spring break, but we're no longer together by that time, you know?
Yep. I also really love, I think we skipped over how when they're fighting Vecna, because you have Nancy and that crew fighting them in the upside down, so like the real world. Then you have Max luring him into the mind world, so he's not there in the real world. I know. And you have Elle that comes in and piggybacks to help fight him in the world with Max. And I really love how Max is like, you're here, and she's like, how? And she's like, I piggybacked out of a pizza dough freezer.
I know, it's so funny, just because, like, also it's like there's so many things happening, and like the fact that even, you know, Elle, Will, Mike, Jonathan, and Argyle are still in California trying to get to them. They're like trying to book plane tickets to get to them, and they end up not being able to get there, and so they go into the Surfer Boys Pizza, and then like we see Argyle interact with Argyle number 2. Argyle in a different font.
Literally.
Also, I love the interaction. He like walks in with like a surfer boy shirt, and like the dude's like, hey dude, I love your shirt. It's like so fucking sick, bro. And like,
yep.
Just like the way that Argyle is like, hey man, like, we don't want the pies, but we were wondering if we could use your freezer, because this girl has like crazy superpowers. And like they're just like, yeah, and like I love how they're just like, here's a joint, don't worry, we'll lock up, you go on, get out of here, have fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. And it, like, I know we were
go meet your friend at Taco Bell, you know.
Literally, I know that we were saying it before we started filming, but very California. Like
I feel if you are a native Californian,
yep.
Even if you're not a native Californian, if you take a vacation, you will most likely meet this California dude.
Yep.
On a beach, bumming it somewhere, and just talks like this, like him, like, yeah, bruh, that's so fucking cool. Yeah. I'm like high vibes and chilling, you know what I mean?
Bro. Yeah.
Literally, like, I don't know what to say,
but yes,
but that guy is so Californian. When I saw him, I immediately started smiling, because I was like, that is we know somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a Californian, I can pick out exactly who that was in my life, and I was like, yeah, that was that person. Yep. I've met him before.
Yeah.
And you know, there's archetypes of him all the time, but I love the way that he played it. I thought he played it extremely well. It was so funny. And I love the fact that that was like the comic portion of the show, because this season was so serious. Like,
yes.
Like, we didn't even talk about it, like, when Will and Mike are in the car, and Will is, like, telling Mike,
oh my gosh,
how much Mike means to, quote-unquote, everybody. But we're that scene in and of itself also was, like, a little, like, was really sad, but also half of me was, like, Mike's not a good friend.
No. And I do like how Will calls him out on that too. Earlier, he's like, hey, you wrote her so many letters. We called for, 30 minutes in the past year?
Yeah, like why haven't you called me? Like,
he's like, and he says, like, I understand that she's your girlfriend. I want you to want her the way you're wanting her. But at the same time, like, you claim to be my best friend.
Yeah. Like, what's going on? And I absolutely agree with that. And it's one of those things where it's like also just like the fact that, like, Will right here, I mean, he gives him the photo that he's been working on, and Elle even says, like, oh, like, Will won't let me look at his picture. I think he has like a girlfriend that he wants to, like, give that to.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was for Mike says so much. Also, it's like we kind of knew that he was crushing on Mike, but him being like, no, Mike, you're the glue, you're the storyteller, you're this, you know, like, you hold everybody together, and, like, this is, like, your job and stuff like that. And then Mike's just, like, so unaware that literally that speech is Will telling
proposing to him, like,
Mike,
Jesus Christ,
how much he is absolutely and devastatingly in love with him.
Why are men so dumb?
But I mean, here's the thing: is, like, I feel like there are a lot of people who might know that, like, their close friend is, like, really, like, that really likes them or is crushing on them, but then chooses to ignore it because they don't want the dynamic to change.
Yep.
And it's like inherently it is extremely selfish for, like, you to do that, but it's also, like, the idea of, I get that, you know, you don't want to ruin that friendship. You guys are so close, you know. It's like, we know that it wouldn't work out. You know, we know that Mike is, like, has a girlfriend, you know.
Yep.
We know that Will is gay. I say it like that because he hasn't said it yet, and it's such a shock.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't think he's ever said it. He has not said the word gay.
I just think that it's...
But he does say, like, I had a crush on him, and so he said it in it. But Robin didn't say it either. She was like, I was looking at her.
Yeah.
Like, you think, like, they never really say the word gay.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, he does say it. He's like, I'm just different. And he's like, I like boys. Like, I don't like girls.
This is a season 5 thing. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. We'll get into that later. But also, it's like this scene right here is him literally confessing his love, and it's devastating. And also, like, to see
also got
Will
memed to, like...
yeah, I'm so sorry to see Will.
Like, it's really sad.
Scene. Yeah. It's also hilarious, the memes that were put over just his face.
Absolutely. I was like, God damn it, guys. Because when I first watched it, I was like,
really
this is really sad. And then I started getting memed, and I'm like, God damn it, that's really fucking funny.
Yeah, it's oh, God damn it, guys. Why couldn't we just... It's fine. I get it.
Missy, wake up.
Yeah. But it was also just, like, I thought it was also, like, a pinnacle point in their character arcs. Because, like, you do see how much, like... I still think that that Mike is a bad friend.
Oh, absolutely.
We see how much he only looks out for himself and only looks after 11. And I don't mean that to be, like, oh, it's 11's fault. Like, blah blah blah.
It's Mike not knowing how to juggle having a girlfriend with himself and having friends. And
exactly, I was like, we see the, you know, struggle between balancing a relationship and balancing friends, and it is hard. I'm not gonna lie about it. I think that it's an extremely difficult thing to juggle, but you know, they could only do that when they're older, and it's like but it's still heartbreaking to like watch Will confess his love to Mike, and then Mike be so fucking oblivious about it, and to be literally. Like, but it's also like it's one of those things where it's like I think that it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to be so deeply in love with somebody and let them walk away, and let them experience their life and let them love somebody else, and let that happen. Like, I just think that, I mean, it takes a lot of courage, and it definitely sucks. It's one of those things where you're like, there's no way that doesn't hurt. Yeah. You know, in all certain terms, like, there's literally no way that doesn't hurt. And so, you know, we see that happen, and then, you know, they go to the Surfer Boys pizza, and then, like, we see Argyle be Argyle, and it's just like, love it. You know, I do think that they needed Argyle over there because of how serious everything was happening. Like, of all of the serious things that's happening, I think they needed like the character of Argyle to be there. And a lot of people were really disappointed that he was not in season 5, but it also does make sense. He didn't go to like, he lives in California. He didn't go all the way to Hawkins with them, you know.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, you're right. He did go all the way to Hawkins with them, but like, I'm sure he went home like with his parents. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah, things like that. But it's also like you know, people are like, oh well, like, wouldn't have he been locked down when that area got locked down?
But people would leave. I think he left right before, is my guess.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But also, supposedly they, like, you know, they didn't ask him back, so obviously he wasn't written in the script. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, they didn't ask him to come back and things like that. Like, and
I think that is, he didn't have anything else to add to the story. Like, he had his part.
No, like, I was like, I don't think he would have added anything. Got, like, a little comment where Jonathan's like, oh yeah, like, Argyle's, you know, still having fun. Like, a small comment, maybe. But even then, like, just like a small thing. But like,
that's the same thing with, like, I kind of wish that we got because Antonov got out, right? And I just wish that, like, him and Hop, like, just brief conversation, like, that's a season 5 spoiler. I'll shut up now. Yeah. But at a certain point,
but we're talking about season 4.
You're right.
You know.
And so everybody does get out. They all come back, and then it ends with, like, the grass turning gray.
Yeah, because, like, the upside down is really infecting everything, and they're looking at Hawkins, and they're looking at the split down the middle.
Yep, and it's also really interesting just seeing everybody's reaction, like the pairs that they kind of put themselves into. I think that's really interesting. And, like, who's there and who's not. At the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also just, like, I feel like this season was, like, super impactful because they left it off at, like, such a high point ending, which is, like, obviously what they meant to do. And, you know, because of the strikes and everything, like, they needed to release it later, which is completely understandable.
Yeah, this took 3 years because the first one came out in 2019, then COVID happened, then the strikes, so then it premiered in 2022.
Yeah, but then also it's like, you know, they took a big hiatus between season 4 and season 5 anyway. Yep. But it's also because, you know, the actors were busy. Also, you know, speaking of Argyle's actor, I don't know if you've seen him recently, but he's done a major, like, lean bulk like training phase for some sort of new movie. They haven't announced, like, what the new movie is, but, like, he does not look the same.
Really?
Like, well, because Argyle, like, you remember him, he's, like, very, like, round faced, very, like, not lean, very, like, pizza boy
Yep.
body, and now he's like ripped. He's ripped. Like, you should look at a picture of him. I don't know what new movie he's gonna be in, but I'm like, that's like the body transformation. I'm like, ugh. Like, sometimes like in Hollywood, like how actors prep for this, I'm like, this is crazy, but I love that. I love the commitment that we see for all of the actors,
absolutely.
you know. I don't know if you're looking it up right now.
Oh, I am. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Thank you. I was like, I don't know why it's taking you so long to like look at this picture of this man.
I had to find out his actor's
Oh my
name.
god. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Right. It doesn't say
So
what
different.
new film. Yeah, it doesn't say what new film he's in, but like, he also openly stated that they didn't ask him back, and so, you know, and he also accepted this role. He already like previously accepted the role, and that's why he like started to lean down. And so he was like, I don't know if they didn't ask me back because of conflicts, or if they. But I also truly do believe that he unfortunately did not have anything to do with the story.
Yeah. Dude, that's
Like,
insane.
wouldn't
This
have
video
added
of him, like,
anything.
working out. Wild. Holy shit.
Yeah, like, damn, that's crazy, right?
I would not recognize him if I saw him.
Yeah, really. Like his face looks so different, because like he used to be so like his face used to be much rounder, and now it's like very, very slim.
I do love how he
looks
still
great.
has his really long hair, though.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, thank you. I was like, please.
I
don't
just
have
look
that.
so soft. Wow, it's so
Yeah.
long. Like, it's
Yeah.
long.
It's so long, and I'm like, wow, I wish I had gorgeous, luscious locks like that. I get over it, honestly. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna rip my fucking hair
It's just-
off.
Yeah, literally. And it's
I
also
feel
like, I mean, you guys saw, like, when my hair was long, it was so... Because I technically have curly hair, I'm just really lazy.
Yeah.
And, like, it just goes... And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I started the podcast with long hair or short hair.
You didn't. You started with short hair.
Yeah, I was like, I think I actually
You
cut
cut
it
it
off.
in, like, 2023, man. It's been 3 years since you cut your hair off.
No. I cut my hair off last year.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, because I was in therapy, you dumbass. No, I know for a fact that I cut it when I was in therapy. Me. It's,
Okay,
you know,
cut it
it's
at the end of 2024.
It's the therapeutic drive of like, my life is changing. Guess what else? I need to cut my hair off. Also,
You cut
just
it in
felt great.
December of 2024.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, I did not. I refused.
I mean,
to
it was
believe.
not last year. No, it was 2024. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, I haven't had the cut for that long.
Yeah.
But I do love my short hair. But I
think
haven't
you look
thought
like
about growing it
you
out. I'm
like
just
full
bored.
length again, or just like...
No, I'm just fucking bored. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
I'll get a
fair.
wolf
Figure
cut.
it
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'll
everybody
probably just keep
say
it
for
short. You
Kaylee's
never know.
hair transformation, because it'll be great.
Yeah, you never know. Fuck it. I just get bored and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else to
So.
say for this season? Now that we're talking about hair.
Yeah, no, sorry. I got distracted. He just has luscious locks.
He does.
He has
it's gorgeous.
beautiful. He has
and it's
beautiful,
also like
luscious locks.
it's also like pin straight hair. Like,
yeah.
it's not.
I mean, he's Native American,
Yeah.
so I mean, it makes sense.
Oh no, it does. It's
you
just
know,
so
in terms of
gorgeous.
genes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just has really gorgeous hair.
He really does.
Also, the wigs in Stranger Things, I will admit, the wigs in Stranger Things, some of them have great wigs. Some of them have wigs. I will admit, there are some parts of Lucas's wig that I'm like, why is his hairline like that? But it's okay. Maybe it's
fine.
maybe it's just a style. It's fine.
Yeah.
He was the style back then. But I was like, the wigs that like Nancy wears and Mrs. Wheeler wears, and even Robin wears a wig.
Yeah.
That's not her hair.
That's
a
wild.
wig.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah. Like that's a wig.
Her and
know.
Eddie, I would have never guessed. I thought like
Yeah. Eddie wears a wig. Vecna wears a wig. Elle wears a wig too.
Yeah.
Like her
She
shaved
didn't shave her
head.
hair again.
Yeah. There are some times where it's like her shaved head. I'm like, that's a fucking wig. That's crazy.
I know. Where did all the hair go?
I'm literally like, her hair looks so flat. What is going on? How did they get that so evenly pinned down? Where did it, like you said, where did her hair go?
Literally.
What happened? Also, love the fashion in this. I have to point it out every time. The costuming in this show is so good. And I love how the costuming is slowly changing through the decades that have passed. And also I love to see the hairstyle change too.
Yeah.
Like the hairstyle change through the seasons and things like that. I think it's like such a big deal, and I really, really do enjoy that.
Yeah.
I
and
also
it's also
think
like seeing
that
the time of like the mall coming out and like everything like that. Like it is really fun to see like all these things that happened through the 80s. That like, I mean,
through the 80s and early 90s that like
we weren't there for the
oh no,
to early
I'm
90s.
sorry, I'm not an 80s baby. No, I'm not an 80s baby. It's crazy, I know. I seem fucking old, but I'm not an 80s baby. Just
we weren't
let
there,
everybody
so
know.
to kind of see that time period.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
We know a lot of the time period because that's when our parents. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like that's when our parents were growing up. So it's. Well, no, they were. My dad was funny. Never mind. Like our parents. I know my dad talks about the 80s.
Me, I'm like, that's when my fucking parents got married. What are you talking about?
You're right.
I'm like, what are you talking about? That's crazy.
Well, my mom grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, because I was like, my parents were in college.
My mom was still in college.
I was like, my parents were in college because like my parents got married, I think in like 86.
Oh, dang.
Oh, actually, maybe 89. I'm like, I know that's a big gap, but I'm like trying to like look at the number. I'm trying to like imagine like the number in my head, and I'm like, is it 6 or is it 9? But I was like, I know they got married then.
And so,
I couldn't fucking tell you when my parents were born. I just know I'm like, I kind of know when they got married.
My parents got married in the 90s, I think. I don't know.
No, I know my parents got married in the 80s.
No, they didn't.
I know my parents.
80s.
Yeah, no, my parents had an 80s winter wedding, and my mother's dress.
Was it pretty?
First of all, my mother looks gorgeous. My mom looks really gorgeous on her wedding day. First of all, my mom and my dad. I'm like,
I've literally never seen your parents. I don't know.
They're like, they look so good in their wedding photos. I really hope that they treasure them and keep them forever. I know, little baby. But it is an 80s wedding dress. You will look at that dress and be like, wow.
I need you to send me a photo of that, man. You need to send me a photo. I've literally never seen your parents.
Yeah, I will try to find like a young photo of them. I know that we've looked through albums because I love your grandma has photo albums everywhere. It's so nice. I get to see Ashley's little baby butt. Oh.
She's obsessed with it. That sounds really weird, but she thinks it's really cute how there's.
I'm sorry, I do. I think it's absolutely freaking adorable that Ashley's little baby butt is on her grandma's fridge. It's not even framed. It is on the fridge, guys, and it is like, I'm like, that's so heartwarming. Yeah. That's so heartwarming that your little baby photos are on the fridge. Oh, very cute. But also,
anything else to say
back to the Stranger Things.
Susie and Dustin broke up.
Well, I was gonna say, I was like, we do get to see Susie a little bit more in this thing. You know, she helps them find the Nita Project. Yeah. She helps them do that, and I love I'm like, half of me wants to see what happened with Argyle and her sister.
Oh, that's great.
Like, half of me is like, where did that go? Where did Eden go? Why did he not? What was that?
Go get your girlfriend.
Can we get that back?
That was so fun. You know, it was fun to see a little cameo and see like where Susie grew up and like all of her little like gremlin siblings.
Yeah, how many kids that they have? I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Yeah. But also makes sense. They live in Utah and they're Mormons, so no, they're not Mormons. Yeah, are they Mormons or are they Jehovah's Witnesses? It would make more sense if they were Mormons.
Yeah, I think they're Mormons
because they live in Utah. But I don't know.
Yeah. But
But yeah, I loved the costuming as well, like the style like through the decades. The wigs were absolutely amazing.
Yep.
I also think that like the way that they've been building the sets for the Upside Down has been really cool. I loved the break apart house. Yeah, like that was really awesome.
Yep. They've been doing a really great job.
I do like the motif of the grandfather clock. I know that we didn't really talk about that as much, but the motif of the grandfather clock I think is really nice, because not only does it symbolizes a passage of time, but it also symbolizes how time can be stuck.
Yep.
And how you can be stuck in that time, and you know, things like that. I just really truly liked that part of it, and I thought it was like a good like little thing that they added to make it make more sense, you know.
Yeah, and it was like it's showing you, not telling you.
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing that I loved, that they did a lot of showing, but there were some things where I was like, oh, I didn't like. For me, I'm like, I wish that Elle could speak in complete sentences by now. Yeah. Like how much like she's been socialized, like not only like with Hopper, but with Mike and with the other kids and around.
Being
like
in school.
Yeah, and her being in school, but even like not her being in school, but like a child picks up fluency and sentence structure even before they go to school. Because they're listening and talking to other people.
Like be more people.
Yeah.
Like it's just, she should be talking a bit more.
Yeah, I just wish that it was. That's just like
we can get into it in season 5 too. Me. Yeah.
Also,
but I feel like it goes into season 5 as well.
Yeah, which is also like one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I really do think that that's really important. But that is the last thing that I have to say.
Awesome. Yeah, because I do want to talk about that in points. I said I have so many points that I'm like, this is all season 5 shit, and this is why I didn't rewatch season 5 before we filmed this. Yes, I knew this would happen.
Yes.
But I did really love. I do think this is my favorite season. I loved the dark elements, and I loved how it really. I mean, I'm all here for like emotional torment and like trauma. I'm like really dealing with that. I know when we talk about in Iron Flame, like the trauma, like she writes it so smoothly, and we're like, I'm so here for that, because that's how real life is. I like realistic shit, and so I like realistic shit in my non-realistic fantasy books and my non-realistic me. That's what I like, but I like just the emotional realism, and that's why I really did like this season and seeing it.
Yeah. I do. I think that it was definitely my favorite season, but I'll rewatch season 5 and maybe I'll change my mind. But I don't.
We gotta rewatch it. We're gonna rewatch it for next week, so then we can have a better. Because not gonna lie, I kind of forgot a good chunk of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it literally just came out.
It just came out. We watched it. Yeah, again, on the first watch, I feel like you don't take in as much because you're taking so much information for the plot, and then you can go back rewatch it. Like I've said 1,000 times.
Exactly. So. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm really excited.
Other than that,
5. It's our final episode of this miniseries.
Yes, final episode of the miniseries next week. But also, we still have some fantastic news for you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you guys so much for listening, supporting us, doing all of the things. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow along. But now that we are going to be ending our Stranger Things mini-series, we are going to launch into our other kind of different little series, still released on Wednesday. So we're still going to keep our Wednesday slot, but we are going to review some Zillow houses, which is going to be so fun.
You guys are not prepared for this. It's going to be chaos. Like, if you guys chaos, if you guys are here for our dynamic. If you're here for our dynamic and not the book or the series, you're going to like our Zillow House review.
You're going to love it. We are also going to say that we are going to try to be able to kind of like screen share like the pictures houses. Of the houses.
Yeah.
When we do release a video format. But also, if not, we are still going to have the house linked.
Yes.
In the description. Like all of the houses will be linked on
the episode
on it so that you guys
follow
can
along.
so you guys can like click on the pictures, follow along, see what we're talking about and things like that. But I'm very excited to do that, and I'm excited that that's going to be like our next like little series for Wednesday.
Yes, and if you like Stranger Things, we're doing a horror horror book. God, what is it called?
We're doing a horror. We're doing a little bit of a break from fantasy, and we're going to launch into a
February horror.
We're gonna do February's Halloween. So we're going to do multiple books of horror within the month of February.
We're very excited. We missed
our Halloween era.
Halloween one, so we had to throw it in somewhere. So
yeah, I was like, honestly, we were so deep into a Fourth Wing and Iron Flame at that point, it would have been really hard to stop.
Yeah.
But we're very excited to take a little bit of break from that series. Once again, we just wanted to say that we will be picking that series back up, so no worries. Yep. Don't panic.
It'll come back.
It'll come back, but we're very excited to do this little break. So
yeah, that's it.
Make sure to like, subscribe, follow along, comment. Tell us down below like what you guys thought of this series. I would say that this season, I know that we didn't say this earlier, but this season for me, I would definitely say it's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I maybe say this one's an 8 because I think we gave the other ones a 7, so I'd say this is an 8 out of 10.
No, I was like, I know that I gave like the other ones like a 6-ish.
You gave season 3 a 7.5, so I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Okay. Well then, yes. Then I'll give this one an 8. See, because I thought I put it at a 7, like 7. I guess season 3 would be like 7, 7.5. Yeah. So like 8.5 for this.
That's where I'm at.
But I thought it was amazing. But make sure to like, follow, subscribe, to tell us, comment down below what you thought about this season and how you would rank it. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much for all of the love and the support.
We really appreciate it.
Subscribe to our email list. Woo-hoo. It's so exciting. As well as if you'd like to support us in any other way, please make sure you can click on the link in our bio for a Buy Me a Coffee. But even if you don't, we still love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us in whatever way possible. We really appreciate it.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And the last thing that we have to say to you guys is,
what did the void say to you?